We're now looking at Chapter 11, Acceptance and Sin.
我们现在还是在看成为合神心意第11章
And this is in the workbook, Becoming What God Intended.
第2讲。
And this reading is on the 3 false sayings or beliefs.
这里讲到第3种错误形式的信。
In 1 John, John the Apostle tells us 3 false thoughts that believers sometimes have.
在约翰一书第1章，约翰讲到3种不同形式的错误。
Scripture normally doesn't use the word think, but it uses the word say to refer to how we're thinking in our head.
圣经里一般不说我们想怎样，而是讲我们说怎么样。
And in chapter 1, verse 6, 8, and 10, we have the phrase, if we should say, we wouldn't say it out loud, but we're saying it to ourselves in our heads.
所以今天我们看的经文里会说的，我们说如何如何，我们心里想，我们并没有说出来。
And these are 3 false and dangerous thoughts to have.
这3种错误的形式想法。
In the first reading, we referred to verse 6, and we'll read it again, where the first false saying is placed.
我们先来看第6节讲的这个错误的信。
If we should say, fellowship we are having with him, and we are walking in darkness, we are lying and not doing the truth.
我们若是说与神相交，却仍在黑暗里行，就是说谎话，不行真理了。
The first false thought is that we can be living in the darkness, that is doing wrong things, ignoring God, hiding, and that at the same time we can have fellowship with him. And John says that's a false thought.
第一种错误的信念就是说，我们可以照样的住在黑暗里面，照样的不理会神，照样做自己要做的事情，然后我们说我们可以与神相交。
So that the opposite of that is we should live in the light of God's presence, even as we are sinful people.
相反的，我们尽管我们是有罪，但是呢，我们可以住在父神的面前。
Then the second saying is in verse 8.
第2个错误是在第8节里面。
If we should say that we do not have sin,
我们若说我自己是无罪，
and in this verse it's referring to the issue or reality of sin inside of ourselves.
这里是讲的说我们心里边的一个状况，一个现实，我们有罪。
And this is important to recognize that when it says we have sin, it's not saying we are sinners, but we have the illness of sin within.
这里并不是讲说我们是一个罪人，而是说我们是有罪，就是说我们里面心里面那一个病态，那一个不正常的状况。
What we are called in Scripture almost all the time are holy ones or saints or people who belong to God.
我们在圣经里面一直在讲说圣洁就是属于神，我们属于神，叫做我们是圣洁的。
But we should never kid ourselves that we don't have the disease.
但是我们不要欺骗自己说我们没有这个病态，我们没有罪。
And so if we should say that sin we do not have, we are deceiving ourselves.
如果我们说我们没有罪，那就是我们自欺人。
And the truth is not among us.
那真理就不在我们心里了。
Now notice that he uses the word we, and us, referring to us as a group of believers.
所以他这里一直都是说我们，意思就是说我们作为一个信徒，我们这个群体。
So as believers, we all recognize that we're bearing this moral illness called sin.
所以我们作为信徒，我们知道我们里面在道德方面是有病态的，是不正常的一个状态，叫做罪。
And as Paul the Apostle points out in Romans 7,
正如保罗在罗马书第6章指出，
sin in the flesh can seem to be perfectly, absolutely normal.
就是说好像罪住在我们里面，好像看起来非常非常正常。
Like the person who has had allergies their entire life thinks having allergies is perfectly normal.
就好像一个人一生都是有过敏，但是呢就以为这个是正常，因为他一直都是处在这个状况中。
So we have to be careful to recognize that we have a serious illness called sin within.
所以我们必须要很认真的了解，我们是有罪，这个是一个不正常的一个病态的状况。
And then we have the third saying.
然后我们有第三个错误，
And this is in 1 John 1:10.
这是在约翰一书1章10节。
If we should say that we have not sinned in the past with the present effect,
如果我们是说我们没有犯过罪，到现在还影响我们，
this is a little bit difficult to bring over into English.
这个在英文里面也是比较难以表达。
And I suspect the Chinese Bible has the same problem that English Bible has.
中文也是差不多，比较难以表达。
But in Greek it's saying, if we should say that when we've sinned in the past, it is not presently affecting us, meaning we haven't done anything about its effects, and we're saying, oh, it was just a sin back there, but it's not affecting us now.
这个是一个完成时代，所以就是一个过去的行动一直影响我们到今天。我们如果说自己没有那个果效在我们今天的生命里面，
Then we have the real shocker of the next word in the verse.
那么在下一句就让我们吃一惊，
A liar we are making him.
就是我们以神为说谎的。
When we have a casual view of sin, we basically call God a liar.
如果我们不注重罪这件事情，我们就会说神是在说谎。
Why do we make him a liar?
我们为什么要使他变成说谎的呢？
He has told us we have this deadly illness,
他告诉我们，我们有这个很要命的一个病态，
and it's so dangerous that he had to give his son to rescue us from that illness.
这个严重到一个程度，他必须给他的儿子来为我们而死。
So that when we don't take it seriously, we make him a liar.
如果我们不把这件事当成怎么样回事，我们就是把它当成是说谎的。
And then the rest of the phrase says, and his word is not among us.
那么他的道就不在我们心里面了。
And he is actually looking at these truths, these false thoughts, as inhabiting groups.
他这些话是对着我们一群信徒来讲的。
And that this kind of sayings, this thinking should not be part of our group thinking or individual thinking.
就是说，我们这样的想法不应该是我们这个群体这样想，也不应该是我们个人这样想。
So here are the false three thoughts.
所以这是三种错误的信。
Christians can live in darkness.
一个是基督徒可以住在黑暗里，
We don't have sin within.
第二个是我们没有罪，
And when we do sin, it doesn't affect our lives.
第三个就是说我们犯了罪，但是对今天没有什么影响。
It's very easy to fall into believing those sayings.
我们很容易会相信这三种错误的信念。
So the next reading will tell us what to do about it.
下一讲会告诉我们怎么样来处理这些。
Shiwei and I will see you then.
艾克曼博士跟我说。
举起敬拜的